H.R. 1, everything that's been going on. Last night ended in a filibuster, didn't even really make it to the table. They said maybe it could come up later on.
In order to end debate on a piece of legislation in the Senate, you either had to exhaust the senators or you had to get all of them to agree, something called unanimous consent to end debate. You're right. That has changed a couple of times along the way. In 1917, they came up with what is called cloture. That is actually the technical term for ending a filibuster. It's been changed a couple of times over the years, but that's what failed last night, Logan. They could not get cloture. They could not get 60 votes to end debate on the motion to proceed. So debate on the bill didn't even begin.
This is the left, the ruling class, trying to create even more power to themselves. They don't want simple things like required to show an ID to vote. They want to take your money and give it to candidates that you don't like, right? Deeply abhorrent and violative of the First Amendment as well. This isn't some fringe group within the Democrat Party. This is who they are, full stop. They are people who want the power to be in Washington, D.C. and not with the people.
I actually thought it was interesting to see 50 Republicans stand together last night, more so than it be not even a couple breaking off. The Democrats always have a good handle on their caucus, while I feel like the Republicans are the ones that typically have people breaking off.
The posture of partisan legislating was sort of the stage was set for it during that COVID stimulus debate. I mean, like Will said, there were 5 bipartisan bills last year. There could have been a 6th, Logan. There was an appetite. There was plenty of Republicans willing to work with Democrats to pass another one. And I would tell you, there were plenty of Republicans who wanted an infrastructure bill. There are plenty of Republicans today, Logan, that want to pass an infrastructure bill, but Senator Schumer has decided that he would rather put forward bills with his wish list. I don't think that's an unfair way to characterize it.
The Democrats promised that they were going to go big and bold and have these sweeping changes across the fabric of America, and Chuck Schumer even said, first we take the Senate, then we take America. And that entire mindset that they were just going to come in and just start changing things into the image of the left is now starting to hit reality, which is that if you don't have 60 votes in the Senate, your agenda is not going to move forward.
In general, the Democrats are coming to the realization that not just this, but any major sweeping change that they hoped would come about due to a Biden presidency, due to some change in the makeup, a lot of it is destined for failure.
The Republicans were able to block, using the filibuster, the legislation from moving forward, but we're now seeing the left coming out in full force trying to call for doing away with the filibuster. We know how quickly Senator Manchin flipped from "I will not vote for this" to giving his vote to it last night. Do you think that we're in danger of seeing the so-called moderates like Senator Manchin, Senator Sinema, caving to the far left of the party and maybe going forward with doing away with the filibuster?
He's been pretty clear. So has Senator Sinema about the filibuster. She wrote an op-ed. They were unequivocal. There were no caveats. But, I mean, I've been around this a while. One never knows. We have to stay diligent. Places like the ACLJ have to continue to make the case why this would be a calamity for our republic. We need to continue to man the parapets. They're going to keep chipping away at this. Every time they're defeated by the Republicans in the Senate, they're going to make the case that the filibuster needs to go away for some higher noble calling that they have asserted. We need to stay vigilant. They're not going to give up on this for sure.
One other thing that you're hearing about, and this is a senator's name that you may not know as well as some of those others, but
Elizabeth Warren.
Jeff Merkley, who was one of the original sponsors of this in the Senate, says that the next step is to continue to work the dialogue between the 50 senators and evaluate the next approach. I don't think he's talking about the 50 Republican senators. Yeah. And what is cause for concern is that when you're only focusing inside your own party instead of looking to across the aisle, that means that they're just going to double down on what failed last night.
A seismic shift from the left may not happen because of things like this being blocked and the ability to still block it as of now. Now, obviously, elections change. Things happen. We're not that far away from another shift again.